Hi, my name is Bre'ana Stafford, and welcome to my roundtable talk. I'm going to be going through my final mini methods. Here we go. Right, so the purpose of my mini methods last year I had a baby, and today is actually her first birthday. My life has changed in many ways. When I became a mom, I got a sense of purpose. I got some strength that I didn't know I had, but at the same time, I'm still pursuing my PhD. I'm working as an assistant principal, and that hasn't always been easy. There's been moments of exhaustion, doubt, feeling stretched in every direction, but also moments of deep pride and resilience. Um, I knew that if I'm going through this, I know that I'm probably not alone, and there's other women walking the same path as me, juggling leadership roles in education while raising children of their own. And so that's why I chose to do this study on how being a single mother influences the way women lead in K 12 education. So my positionality, again, like I said, I'm pursuing a PhD and working as an assistant principal, and that's going to deeply shape my research. I'm aware of the challenges as well as the awards that balancing that leadership comes with. Um, my personal experiences navigating the dual roles inform my empathy as well as my understanding to others in the similar situation. I've lived the reality as a single mother. I'm still living the reality of a single mother in educational leadership. And I can offer that perspective as well as listen to others who give that same perspective. Um, my methodological approach. This study is going to employ qualitative phenomenology approach um, to explore the lived experiences of single mothers in K-12 educational leadership. Um, I'm going to use purposeful sampling to recruit participants who identify as single mothers currently. I collected data through an in-depth semi-structured interview that encouraged the participant to share her story in her own words. I also transcribed the interview and analyzed it, and then I also had some findings. So my participants, I was not able to get a second participant, so I only had one. With that being said, my first instrumentation, the first interview, it didn't last that very long. It only lasted about 20 minutes. Um, then I decided that I would go back to that person and follow up and ask follow up questions. And the second interview lasted 45 minutes. When I analyzed my data, I interviewed, for the sake of this project and this research, I named her Elsie. Her name is actually Elsie Hewitt Waters. And so I interviewed her, and it was both powerful but also deeply personal. She is a single mother, an educational leader. Specifically, she's an assistant principal. One of the strongest things that emerged from her interview was how her personal experiences have shaped her sense of empathy and advocacy. She talked about hearing negative assumptions made about students from single parent households or raising her own daughter. That stuck with her, and now as a leader, she makes a point to challenge the narratives and uplift every student, regardless of their background. Um, Another powerful moment that came from that interview was that she used her own parenting journey to to connect with students. Um, when a student complains about her strict mom, Elsie gently reframed the situation, helping them understand that their mother is sacrificing or making sacrifices for them, and that she's juggling multiple roles, and her ability to bring her real life experiences to relate to the student makes the students feel seen and heard. And then another thing that stood out was the importance of community. She always expressed her village. And when I asked her what her village was, she said that it's her siblings, her friends, and her extended family. They help her balance her leadership with motherhood. Um, Her story is a reminder of how single parents do this every day, that they can't do it alone. It's about knowing when to ask for help and creating support systems for yourself. Professionally, she offers the same support to other students, often stepping in as stand-in family members at things like sporting events, extracurricular activities, especially when their parents can't be there. She knows how that feels, and so she knows that her presence matters. Toward the end of the conversation, she also reflected on her legacy and how she hopes to leave a legacy for her daughter, and that she hopes that her hard work is going to pay off in the long run. And so, my findings, talking with her, it was clear on how deeply her role as a single mother shaped the way she leads in education. Um, on when she spoke openly about the judgment that she saw um, other people at her job judge students who that came from a single parent home, how they thought just because they were in a single parent home they struggle academically, behaviorally, and socially. And Elsie knew that that wasn't always the case. She stated that just because people are in situations they have no control of doesn't mean that it's going to turn out negative. You can really do anything and be anything you want to do. Also, in her parenting journey, she gave a unique way of connecting with students, especially who may be struggling with their own relationships at home. She said that she's not mad at you. She's trying to be your mom, your dad, your ATM, your taxi. So she was talking about how that person's mom is juggling all these things. She has to be mom and dad. She has to come up with ways to find money. She has to drive you everywhere. She's doing everything for you. And so, she uses her storytelling and compassion to relate to the students. And then one of the ways that she manages balancing a single parent is her village. Like I said, she talked about how she always had somebody in her village to be there when she couldn't be there, whether to pick up her daughter, whether to be there to be her daughter's cheerleader, but also moving on to what she wanted to leave and what advice. She always said that she wants her daughter to be her own biggest cheerleader, that she doesn't really need a bandwagon or a cheerleading squad to kind of encourage her. She wants her daughter to be able to encourage herself. What if she's not always around? What if her village, God forbid, can't help her? She wants to be able to, she wants to teach her daughter to be independent and think for herself and be able to encourage herself as well. And so that's really it. Overall, her experiences show that she can be a single mom and also be a powerful educational leader that is resilient, that shows empathy, has the ability to see and support others like her students and her staff. So thank you.